God, man. Do you know what this means? This Skitter's gonna be turned upside down, I tell you, upside down. If you get on his bad side, brother, you're done for. Now, it's only a matter of time before he finds out, and when he does, no matter where he is, get ready, gentlemen, because hell's a-coming. Hell's a-coming. Hell's a-coming. Hell's a-coming. Hell's a-coming.
It's a tough mission, but I think you're ready.
If we're going to save the colonies, we're going to need top Gundam pilots. Transforming Wing Gundam is the most powerful Gundam in the galaxy. But before you can unleash its full potential, you have to transform it from mobile suit mode to bird mode. That's why we need pilots with an ability to take on Gundam mechanics. To beat the best, you have to be the best.
In a world where podcasting is king, you are listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
How has this become about a Gorn wedding? What are you avoiding?
Look, I'm just telling you the events of Stardate 57791.1, all right? Gundam! Rude!
I want details on how you stole the bird of prey!
I know, man. Me too.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Gundam at MAHQ. This is one of your hosts, Neo, and wow, joining me in this episode, because it seems like lately we've had some crowded episodes. It's just Soul Bro and Chris. Just say hello.
Avoid death and cower.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the new live long and prosper, everybody. It's the new one.
All right.
There you go. You're welcome.
Chris, how's it going? How is your mecha brain going? Yeah, I know it got exercised. We got to see the inner workings in the last episode. Are you still feeling good from that, or still need more rest?
I went to immediately oppressing and banning people. So I banned so many people and oppressed so many people. It felt good.
Oh man, it's just like the old days, huh?
Yeah.
So, but
a veritable reign of terror.
Oh God, and so many people just saying, but it's my opinion. You should respect it. You're like, no, only my opinion here, bitches.
Yes, that's pretty much word for word how it went down.
That's exactly how it went down. So, but yeah. This is episode 248 of Gundam and MAHQ, and oh man, you guys know this is the one. This is the episode that Soul Bro's been talking about for weeks now. Oh God,
he sure has.
Lower Decks, that second season. But we're gonna see how well Soul Bro can do this, because somebody has entered in Soul Bro's kryptonite.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
So enter my kryptonite with this dog in my office.
This dog that you don't want to be heard because it's whining and crying the whole time because you just want to sit there and you want to talk about all your friends on the Cerritos.
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm such a bad uncle. My
Just treat it like it's Tendy's weird dog that she
created. The thing.
If its head comes off and starts floating around and it talks to you, then that's
not a good thing. Concern. Yeah. And we don't have transporters yet, so you can't do the accident with like they did with Archer's Beagle. So, and actually I have my dog in with me too because my girlfriend is working out, but thankfully she doesn't talk. So
right? I wish this one didn't.
She doesn't bark. She doesn't bark. Now, she likes to get into stuff, but other than that, I have Mr. Spray Bottle.
All right.
Mr. Spray Bottle by my side because nothing trains a puppy better than the water bottle. So, all right. So, guys, anything as I saunter over to the Neo's listener submitted news article or the Larry King Memorial News Studio for some Neo's listener submitted news since the ones we weren't able to do last episode because we had guests. Anything?
Yeah. Well, I should definitely, because I didn't get to do this last time either. I should let people know to check out the sites real quick, just in case I don't get the chance to do it again later on. But yeah, all right, cool. Other than that, now, you guys, if you guys are watching on YouTube, please consider hitting the subscribe button or hitting the thumbs up. That'll help us out a great deal. And thank you guys for checking us out here. If you're watching on Twitch, hit the follow button if you like what you see tonight. So thank you very much, and back to you, Neil.
All right. So yeah, some of this news will be old because it's some of the stuff that we didn't cover in the last episode. So don't be too harsh in the chat. But oh man, the first one here comes from Rodimus76, and oh man, this is gonna cause some grief. Chris, are you ready to break out the Straight Talk Express if needed?
Sure.
All right. He's got a post here, and it's from Sci-Fi Wire, and it looks like, that Cowboy Bebop Netflix show that everybody's already passed judgment on, and it said it's probably the worst and going to be terrible and worse than 1,000 COVID pandemics combined. Well, if you're in Japan, the good thing is it looks like they're able to they're going to be able to use the anime voice actors. They're going to return to their roles to dub Netflix's Japanese dub of the show. So that'd be kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? I mean,
yeah. Actually the Japanese trailer's out.
Turn your mic on. Turn your mic on.
Turn it on. Turn it on. Yeah, it's on. Now, the Japanese trailer is actually out as well for the show, so you can actually listen to the Seiyu dub over the voice. The only one that didn't, of course, return is the voice of Jet, who unfortunately passed away. Unsho Izuka, I believe. Yeah. Other than that, everybody did come back to voice. It's cool. It's cool actually hearing them dub over the live action characters. So it's a little piece of home. It really is. But
if I was Netflix, what I would do is I'd put a special track on this and have the English anime voice actors dub over where you could do both
shits and giggles
just to see. Yeah, I mean, or you put that on the Blu-ray release.
Steve Blum and Billingsley and Wendy Lee.
Yeah, that'd be great, huh?
I'd watch it.
Does Netflix, do they release Blu-rays or anything of their stuff, or is it just it's all streaming, right? So I mean,
they very rarely. Like, some stuff like Stranger Things has been released, and then like they'll start to release things, but then not finish them. Like they never bothered to put out season 3 of Daredevil.
Oh.
So most of the Netflix, but the other streamers are the same. Like Hulu has not released stuff, Disney Plus has not released stuff. So that's our non-ownership rental future. Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
Me too. Good Lord.
Well, at least with Disney Plus, it seems like they put a lot of extras in some of these things. I have noticed that on some of the shows and the movies.
They do, but obviously if you don't subscribe, then you ain't watching shit.
Yeah, you're SOL. Yeah. because it works better to get that that monthly fee in perpetuity, or 3 years, even 1 year. Even if they get you for 1 year, that's still more money than they would have selling one Blu-ray. But all right, so man, and it comes back with some additional news. It looks like on Crunchyroll there was the first character teaser trailer for the Gets Sack 2045 anime compilation film.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
get to
I
see
always
that.
love me some more Gits Sack. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Sack.
And I always
Although-
love some more compilation films. I love taking these 25 or 50 episode shows and condensing them in like 2 or 3 films, 2-hour films, or
I still
that's
haven't
a
finished
great
this season, but did y'all watch any of it?
I haven't finished it either.
Wait,
No.
hold on.
I just cannot with this fucking cheap ass animation. Like,
So
I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck they were thinking.
I didn't even
Yeah.
know the second half already came out. You telling me the second half of it's out already?
No. Just the one season so far. They haven't put out.
Oh, the one season.
Oh, okay, yeah. Neil and I, we
We
watched it. Yeah, we
reviewed it,
we
yeah.
reviewed the first half. Yeah,
It was a little
the
tough.
animation is cheap. It does have some good concepts. I don't know if you got to see the bank robbery episode, but that was a really good one.
Also, their character designer, is apparently a tracer.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yes, and has been accused of plagiarism.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like it's some Russian guy.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So that's
So
fun.
Netflix is using. They're not using Japanese company to do that, or
No, it is a Japanese staff, but for whatever reason, they just hired this Russian artist to be their character designer.
is he Nikita? Is he Nikita Mazepin? Is did they bring some Russian oligarch to save the company? And the thing was that the oligarch's son had to work for the company, like what happened with the Haas Formula One team.
Yes,
Nikita
that's exactly
Mazepin
what
should
happened.
not even be in a Formula One car, but he shouldn't even look at one. But yet, he's with the best drivers in the world.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, welcome to the new economy. So yeah, and Rodimus 76 comes back. All right, you guys are gonna have to explain this to me because I really didn't. I'll go with what he brought here, and this is coming from comicbook.com. I guess Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2 is going to be an announced the release date. I know there was controversy with this. This is the Netflix show, right?
This is the
Yeah.
this is the Kevin Smith show because there's a
Kevin Smith
a young kids CG reboot.
Yep.
That's also
Okay.
a new thing. So to differentiate, this is the Kevin Smith one that everyone hated so much.
Okay.
It's a continuation of the '80s cartoon.
Okay, yeah. So that's because I was on Netflix the other day and I saw 2 different things for Masters of the Universe, and I remember this initially, and I remember when it kind of brewed up, and I heard that people were up in arms, and I really didn't care, to be honest with you. So,
and you shouldn't.
in the
It's
Cliff
dumb, and they're
Notes,
stupid.
in the Cliff Notes version, or actually not even really in the Cliff Notes version, like bullet points, like to the CEO version. What's the big deal? Kevin Smith's. It's Kevin Smith's take of Masters of the Universe.
They were just mad because they claimed that He-Man's barely in the show, and that it's too woke for them because women do stuff.
Oh, instead of just being eye candy, they're there to, they actually showed that they have abilities and maybe on par with some of the men. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's very bad.
Oh, okay, cool. Did
Super
either
terrible.
one of you see? Did either one of you see this?
I watched it. I thought it was actually pretty good. I can
So
see.
you said it.
I can
hold
see
on.
where.
You said it was so Chris, you said it's a continuation of, and Solbro, you could probably validate that. Is that it's
Okay.
a continuation of the 1980s
The 80s
cartoon?
show, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the CG show is a total reboot, and that one's called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe compared to this one being called
Masters
of the Universe Revelation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the first half of the series has He-Man show up in flashbacks for the most part and have a minor role, but judging from that trailer, he has a big part in the second half. So I don't know basically what people are crying about. I wish they released the whole thing at once, given that probably knew what the backlash was going to be with the show, but it's just giving these people fuel for the last couple of months to just shit all over it and say it's Tila and the Masters of the Universe and not Masters of the Universe. And it's funny because the show has a lot of deep cuts to the mythology of He-Man from the comics and from the animated series, so these guys did their homework. On top of the fact that Tila is the this dog is going to drive me nuts. The Tila is the daughter of the sorceress, and they bring that up in the story too, and they plan to bring that story to fruition in the second half, which is super cool.
We've been down this road before with Netflix doing these stupid ass half seasons.
Oh boy, yeah.
Castlevania, Voltron, Pacific Rim, like
absolutely.
it's ridiculous. Put out a whole ass season, or don't even bother with this fucking half-ass shit of 5 or 6 episodes. It's a waste of time.
Well,
by the time the second they'll call it season 2. By the time the second season of Pacific Rim comes out, what the fuck are we gonna care about it? What do we remember about it?
Yeah, we won't. We won't at all. Now, I'm not the biggest Masters of the Universe person. I mean, I have a basic knowledge of it. It just never really was my thing. But Tila was a part of the 80s show, right? I mean, she was a good part of it all the time too. I mean,
almost every episode.
She was always probably more like the pseudo damsel in distress, but I guess in this one she's taking more an active role, I take it, or she's doing what normally He-Man would have done, or Prince Adam.
She's where the action pretty much surrounds. She's got a crew of people though, so it's more of an ensemble piece, to be honest. But the action does revolve around her. But when it comes down to it, buddy, you're gonna be okay. The action does revolve around her, and I think a lot of people had a problem with just not seeing Prince Adam be like the character that the story followed the most. I won't say what happens to him, but if you watch it, you'll see. But ultimately, I think the story is going places, and the big twist that happens at the end of season 1 is a pretty solid one. So it's a nice setup for what's coming in the second half. Buddy, I'm right here. I don't think it's as big a problem as some people do, but some people, as soon as you change one thing, they lose their fucking minds. So
a blanket reminder for the world out there: almost every 80s cartoon that you liked as a child was garbage.
Yeah, and it was a 25-minute commercial.
There you go.
And that includes Transformers Generation 1.
There you go. Ooh, they're grabbing the pitchforks and the
G.I. Joe and He-Man and Ninja Turtles. Bad. The only thing that had some really good quality to it at the time was the start of Real Ghostbusters, when J. Michael Straczynski was the showrunner before he left.
There you go.
Then it became a cartoon.
Anything else people have nostalgia for is total trash.
Yeah.
When it became Slime and Real Ghostbusters, it went down the tubes too. So.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you're a misogynistic incel, then this show is probably not for you, right?
You want to have an exercise in futility? Go open up incognito mode, go to YouTube, and type Kevin Smith lied, and you will see a bajillion videos of the exact same thing, of these thumbnails of some guy pulling out his hair and angry fonts of Kevin Smith, woke garbage, and it's just an endless sea of angry white dudes, with their clickbait thumbnails they all look exactly alike. You all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, neck beards, overweight.
So many neck beards.
Shirt with a shirt that's been worn, 5 too many times, probably not
Masked
washed.
men who insist for the 50th time that Discovery is really canceled for sure this time.
Oh boy. It comes back every year.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. So
it's canceled. I promise.
Where my inside sources tell me that it's really, really canceled, and that Alex Kurtzman has been sent to jail, and you can trust me because I'm a mysterious dude who wears a mask and changes my voice.
Yo, Kurtzman's been
I'm
deported
totally
from the country.
oh, that's hilarious.
At last.
And
Oh my
what,
God, really?
I would love to see those videos when they actually get the live stream of like, okay, this is the live stream of the world premiere of season 4 of Star Trek Discovery, and they're like, this is all staged.
The show's been canceled. Kurtzman went rogue.
Yeah,
The sets have
Kurtzman's
been
in
thrown in the
Guantanamo Bay.
trash.
Yeah, I have a friend that had a friend who had a cousin that actually has the helmsman console. Oh my gosh! Oh, people are so dumb. But this is some good news. Rodimus 76 comes back. It looks like at this point, it looks like the Mobile Suit Gundam movie trilogy is on Gundam.info.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man.
For like 3 weeks, probably.
Yeah, let me see what the
Probably
dates are.
already gone by now.
Started on October 24th. And doesn't really say when there's an end date, so yeah.
It won't stay there forever because we've literally done this story before that they put it on YouTube, and then it's like have it up for a month or two and then they take it down. So it seems to be that for Gundam.info, like the stuff that's like natively for there, like, you know, the build divers and the battle logs, all that stuff just stays there. But everything else, like, they just randomly rotate with no rhyme or reason of, hey, we're gonna put, you know, the 00 movie on here for 3 weeks. Okay, whatever, who cares?
So what do you think? Is it their marketing department that are like, okay, this will attract the old salts of UC and stuff, and maybe we can trick a couple of them to watch Build Divers? Like we can trick it where at the end of movie 2 it goes, it auto plays into Build Divers episode 1.
I have no idea what they're thinking, but God, that's so horrible. I would feel so bad for anybody who went from MSG movie 2 into Build Divers afterward. That's sad.
Well, you know,
that's not deserved by anybody.
Hey, not all, you know, the marketing department, they may not be Gundam fans, but man, Rodimus 76 has got like a monopoly on the submitted news here.
Yeah, he acquired the forum accounts of all other posters.
Yes, he did. Well, I can't access this link that he did, but I've heard about this. This is a Robot Apocalypse news alert, and it's the robot dog with the sniper rifle attachment.
Yep, it's bad.
Which basically seems like something from like Battlefield or Fallout or something like that. Like that's
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid. That was the DLC that you're gonna get. So, yeah, that's some frightening shit. So, all those that still laugh about that, saying, "Oh, that's not gonna happen." Oh, thank you, Sobro. Oh, popular mechanic.
If we start seeing, you know, bipedal tanks that scream like cows, then you know we're fucked.
You know, looking at the thing is looking at the picture, like that sniper rifle, it looks like it does some damage. Like,
it sure does.
It looks like it's a pretty high caliber.
It's some scary shit, man, for real.
Yeah, it's called Spur. Oh, that's great. Oh, the U.S. Army at their annual convention. Hey, all you new recruits, this is what you'll be having to fight pretty soon, because once we replace you with this, we'll have to recall you back to try to kill them all. And
what we need to do is we need to train cats to ride on Roombas with knives taped to them, and also the cat is holding a knife in its mouth.
Yeah, but I thought they were
full assembly.
I thought they were like tenuous allies of the robot army. The cats on the Roombas.
Well, you know, like old Donnie Rumsfeld said, you gotta fight with the army you have, not the army that you want.
That is true. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm trying to see. It's a 10-shot rifle with a 6.5 millimeter high caliber, high velocity, long range precision round. Ooh, that. Ugh. So that means that means the actual one's going to be pretty nasty. Because that's just misinformation right there. Wow, holy shit. Yeah, well, hey, Soul Bro, you still thinking this is a good idea?
What?
Still thinking?
I didn't think this was a good idea at all. Yo,
You still thinking robots are a good idea?
I think this is a good idea when they had this dog leading a parade the other day, let alone being implemented into police battalions and all that shit. It's like, and now this, it's like, yo, you're just making people scared of this shit. And I don't understand, dog. Okay, you know what? I've said enough. All I know is this is terrible.
Let me ask you this:
the real dog is getting upset about the robot dog right now.
Well, let me ask you this: so they're thinking of integrating this in with police forces. Do you think these dogs are going to get Stockholm syndrome from the current police, and then they're just going to start firing on unsuspecting black people and brown people when they pull them over just for no reason?
Well, just to clarify, the version of the dog of this particular dog they had didn't have a gun attached to it, but this military one that they're controlling as a drone, that is scary, man. Because all they have to do is make a change to it, and they make it automated.
Then change to it. Have you seen police forces? Yeah. The change they make is they take an MRAP. Or an APC, and they just give it a different paint color. Yeah. Instead of desert paint, it's it's the LAPD. We're here to protect and serve, and probably bulldoze your home. So
exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God! I mean, you remember the BLM protests from last year? Woo. Most of those police looked like they were going into Fallujah.
Yeah.
So. But oh man, it's gonna be scary. Well, thankfully, I got my my robot sniffing dog next to me. She's ready to go. So, but
which is fine until they start using the skin jobs.
Well, that's what I'm training her to do. If it was up to me, maybe we get a boy one day. Maybe I'll name that one either Husker or Adama.
Husker. Yes.
Why's your dog named after Husker? Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you the story of a man named Bill. So thank you, Mr. Robin 76. Oh, the Shade comes out here, and he's got a link to the Anime News Network.
Ooh.
And it's titled Yoshiyuki Tomino doesn't want you to read this article.
Oh,
Chris,
no.
Have you read this article?
I have.
So instead of me commenting on this, why don't, since you've read it, and I haven't read it, why don't you just give a brief thing about this? Is it really something Tomino wouldn't want us to read?
It's old news. I don't remember what it was anymore.
Oh, it's about him being coy about Crocuzon Dones Island.
You did,
Yeah,
So yes, there has been discussion about
how bad animation.
He said 20 years ago at a con that there's an issue about Cucurus Dones Island, but you can't talk about it because that person's alive. And
yep, that's right.
God, this
we
animation
know we know who that is.
Mm.
Because could there be any doubt that it's freaking Yaz who has decided to do the late life troll of all time, potentially closing out his 50+ year career with a theatrical film of Cucurus Dones Island.
Mm-hmm.
The most wanted. That is the episode after watching all of MSG that I said, wow, if there's anything that needs to be redone, it's this one. I mean, it's not just to the fact of how bad the animation is.
Fellas, Anime Friend worked on this episode. The same cats that worked on the knife fight from Macross. Yo, we got another classic, y'all.
Yeah, they have a couple of screenshots in this one. Probably the worst one is I forget what that little two-seater that crazy little like recon plane the Xeon had. Chris, the little two-seater one where the
lagoon.
The lagoon. Yeah, it's
We
flying
know what
over
the lagoon flying over the Gundam's head. Yeah,
Oh,
the stuff.
yeah, I
The
forgot
stuff
how
with many
bad that was.
memes. Yep.
Oh, man.
And of course the skinny Zaku.
Mm-hmm. It's
Or
still,
less known, but still just embarrassing. The Gundam getting down on all fours to eject the core fighter.
That is, yeah, that was the one that really scarred me the most. I'm like, ooh, but.
Hey, why are you debasing yourself, Gundam? Gundam, stand up!
Stand up! Rise to eject the core fighter. Oh man. Rodimus 76 comes back and he's talking about Gundam Breaker Battlelog, which I know a lot of us watched. That started streaming worldwide on October 19th. Soulbro, Chris, have you guys seen it? No. I think Soulbro has.
I haven't seen it actually.
Oh, I thought you did.
I've reviewed them all on MAHQ already.
Oh, you tricked us, Chris.
Oh,
you're being so tricky. Yeah. You're checking to see if we go to MAHQ.
Clearly, you have not checked.
No, I retweet your updates. I must have missed that one. So sorry.
One of them was just today. So what's your excuse?
I was in a place where I didn't have a phone for most of the day. So yeah, I didn't have access to my telephone. So oh man, last one here comes from Rodimus 76. Oh, it's a Survey news alert. Oh man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's about his new movie called Ambulance.
Oh no.
With Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. Wow, it's coming from Deadline. Wasn't this bridge in the first Transformers?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
That bridge over the LA River?
He loves to shoot in LA, so I wouldn't surprise. That movie shot in LA, and this one definitely is shot in LA, so
I'm like, weren't they chasing Optimus through there? Why is everything running the same now?
Isn't it like the reservoir or whatever? Possibly
the LA River.
Yeah, it's LA River or lack thereof.
Well, they're trying to replace parts of it. There's some parts of it's not made of cement, but so yeah, and then I guess it's a new action movie directed by Michael Bay, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Eliza Gonzalez, Yahi Abdul Martin II, and Garrett Dillahunt. I guess Gyllenhaal and Abdul Martin play old buddies who plan to rob a bank in the effort to help for surgery for someone's wife. Oh man, so they hijack an ambulance. Okay.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
How come there's no room for Mark Wahlberg in this movie?
I know, right? I thought Mark was his boy. I thought he was gonna be in every film moving forward. What happened, Mark?
I thought he was opening hamburger places. Isn't that what he does now?
Damn.
That's their whole thing.
And then they close them because they're not selling.
Have any of you eaten at one? I've never eaten at one.
There was they opened one here at Waterford Lakes. And we went there twice. I know I went there actually once with Show. Shout out to Show. He's watching over on Twitch. He and I and Ed the Crimson all went there for dinner. I think before or after a movie, and it was okay. I thought the burger I had was half decent. My wife and I went there. She wasn't thrilled at all with the burger, but I was middle of the road. But it's not what I had heard that it was going to be, like a dope ass burger. It was just, it's not, to me it wasn't better than Five Guys, which is like right across the way from it. So I'd rather go to Five Guys if I had the choice.
I don't think they've expanded any further south than Orlando, so I have not eaten them. For anyone in Florida who wants a better burger chain, go to BurgerFi.
BurgerFi.
Yeah, BurgerFi.
Yeah, BurgerFi.
BurgerFi. Yeah.
Heard of that.
Yeah, we have one of our
BurgerFi
UCF.
is good stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Indeed.
Huh.
The other place. Go ahead.
They're starting to come out here. Let me see. The one I always hear about is like in one of the casinos out in the desert. But let me see. There's one at USC Village, West Hollywood. Yeah, I haven't been to it. I mean, there's so many good burger places out here in between here where I live and probably those places where. What's their shtick? Like, what is this supposed to be his shtick Soul Bro? Like, what's supposed to be the selling point of it? Like, like In and Out's like fresh.
It says wall in the name. That's the
Oh.
Well, I mean, I guess one of the Wahlberg brothers is the main chef that designs the food, and I guess he's been like an award-winning chef. I don't know. I never watched the reality show or whatever, but I know that basically the other Wahlberg brothers are investing in his business, and they're trying to franchise it out, possibly more so on the name than anything else. But their gourmet burgers is just that, to me. I've had better burgers at Red Robin. I'm a big guy, so I know my burgers.
Red Robin's trash.
Red Robin, I liked it. I only went to Red Robin once, and the burger I had was pretty good. I had a Royale.
The only thing really good about Red Robin's is the bottomless fries. Yeah, that's the only.
But Five Guys Five Guys In-N-Out Burger. Those are like some of the best burgers I've had at a fast food place. And then I've been to some restaurants and ordered a burger there that are pretty good. But yeah, when it comes down to it, Wahlburgers was middle of the road for me.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering. I didn't know. So cool. Well, do they have any Asian-inspired hamburgers there?
They probably did. I can't remember that menu to save my life.
I think Chris knows where I'm going with that one.
Oh wow! Oh my God!
Hey guys, you wanna try my new Wagyu beef burger? It's great. It's from Asia. I love Asia.
It's smashed. We first smashed the meat.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
We beat the meat to make the best patty for you. Just pound the meat, Asian meat.
Jesus.
And we've learned that it works better if you yell epithets at the meat while you're beating it, because it does something to the beef. It makes it more full, more rich.
Wow. Never let them forget either. Never let that fool forget.
It also does something to you.
You call it the intimidating burger? Is that what we call this?
Oh, man.
Jesus. Oh.
Amazing how some people can live through those things and some people can't. So that's the news. Thank you, everyone, for submitting articles. And if you ever have any articles, you can always go to the newsletter and submit a news articles thread in the Gundam section of the Mecha Talk forum. And I don't know, we didn't talk about how to do this, or I mean, is there really a summary that we need to do with Star Trek Lower Decks, or should we just start talking about it? I mean, it's season 2, it's 10 episodes.
Yeah.
It's a continuation of our friends that we met on the new, the California class Cerritos, which is, what were they? They specialized in second contact. Yes. So, I don't know. Do you want to? I guess we just go. We have 10 more episodes of just their crazy things going on. I think there is some overreaching story, right? It's that whole thing with the pack lids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean,
that
kind of
season.
that's still kind of going, but most of them are just kind of self-contained episodes of the adventures of our friends here. So. Chris, do you want to start us off?
I guess, just run through some highlights. I don't think we need to do
no, we don't
breakdown
need to
by episode.
That's what I was saying.
But just some fun things. I like that they opened with Ransom going all Gary Mitchell and
oh boy,
becoming a stupid god in a giant face. I was amused that Boimler got Thomas Reichard, and that the main Boimler ended up being the Square, and the other one was the cool one who stayed on the Titan.
That was pretty cool how they did that. Yeah.
Although it was a shame that, and I knew going into the season that she wasn't going to be in it, but it's a shame that they didn't have Marina Sirtis in some of those Titan scenes too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. I was hoping she'd be around, but.
It would have also been nice for a little canonical shout out to the Obscure Ride Experience if they had shown either Tuvok or Wesley Crusher or both of them as being crew on the Titan.
I know that Will Wheaton's been campaigning to be on the show. I think he'll probably be in season 3. But yeah, I was hoping to see some canonical stuff from the books. on the
There
Titan,
was,
but
I think
it's early yet.
I think the funniest part of that is when they're like, I think Mariner's saying, "Oh, I wonder, Boimler's having all this cool stuff on the Titan right now," and they're like in the middle of a firefight, and like the whole the Titan's getting fired upon, and they're like, you hear somebody say, "Captain, the shields are at 17%," and he goes, "Red alert."
He mad late with his red alert though.
I just died. I'm like, wait, they're on yellow alert the whole entire time.
Also, who didn't love
Great
the Tom
one-liner.
Paris collectible plate?
Yes, man. Oh my god.
Boimler's whole misadventure.
Tell me
And then
Paramount isn't selling those. They should
Oh.
definitely sell them.
They are.
Oh, are they?
They sell all these things. Like they have them up like right away. Like
Oh.
you could also buy a Cerritos T-shirt to go exercise in.
And the towel too. The towel that towel guy uses. They sell those as well. So yeah, they were smart to like market all that stuff as the show was going on. So I was like, oh
Yeah,
man, you actually get that? That's freaking dope.
I think I would almost would want to own the Tom Paris commemorative plate.
They got it out there if you want it, man. The two things I wish they did sell though are the Starfleet Clue and the Diplomath board game. I want those games. I want those board games. At least the Starfleet Clue. I would take that in a hot second, no question.
I will say, just as a general comment, that I think that pretty much every episode outdid the previous one, and that this was a very strong season, even stronger than the first one.
Absolutely.
The ridiculousness of the concept of the duplers, the the Packlet spy running around the Cerritos and his misadventures.
Can I have your codes now?
The utterly bizarre but hilarious backstory of Phillips coming from a group of humans who are, fair colonizers in space. Right? So weird. The performance tests with the splitting lady and Boimler just going crazy on that Borg simulation.
Oh, I know. And then he was the key to keep them from failing the whole entire thing, because they're like, you all failed, and it's like, no, somebody's still going, so they all were able to retake their tests and actually try that time. Oh.
The highlight for me of the entire season was Wedge Dudge, or Three Ships.
Yes, absolutely.
Showing,
that was the best one.
For other lower deckers, I was definitely amused by Klingon Boimler and by the radically unhinged Vulcan Mariner.
Oh my god!
Who is confirmed to be coming back in the third season?
Yeah, I figured that was a whole setup episode. I think that the Klingon MAHQ, he may also reappear in the series. I don't know if he'll be a regular, but it seems like
surprise me if he showed up.
It definitely seems like they're setting up Talin to be on the Cerritos next season. I don't know if it immediately or it'll be halfway through the season or something like that. But she's definitely going to be on the show, and I can't wait to see how she interacts with the rest of them. It almost seems like they're kind of keying up certain characters for promotions, and that this show may still follow them, but there might be new characters that it will also follow as well. But I'll speak more of that when it's my turn. But yeah, I love that episode. It's my favorite episode of the season as well.
Also, strong finish just to close me out on the season finale, First Contact, bringing back the original lower decker, the very first one of her type, Sonia Gomez, who clearly recovered from spilling hot chocolate on Picard and has moved her way up to being a captain herself.
Man,
with a shiny Excelsior variant and. Some more development of the crew working together, and an interesting parallel to the first season. At the end of the first season, the Cerritos needed the rescuing of the Titan, and in this finale, it's the Cerritos coming to the rescue of the Archimedes.
Yep. Which
and
is
of
a
course
cool
that
show.
Yes, that classic TNG style cliffhanger with "to be continued."
Yep.
So I will, for now, turn it back to you, Neo.
Yeah, I'd have to say episode 9 was hilarious to me. And for whatever reason, the little post-credit thing where they showed the Borg lower deckers, I was like, wait a second, would it be funny if they did the Borg and I'm watching the credits and then it's like, oh, then they did it. I was like, you got to be fit. That one was hilarious.
The Pac-Led lower deckers.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I am hungry.
Red alarm.
Smart.
Red alarm.
Red alarm. I gotta get that as my text sound.
Or just the fact that they call their freaking kit bashed ships clump ships.
And the planet is Planet Pac-Led, son. Yo. What?
With their king, queen, and emperor.
Oh my god.
You know. Yeah, they're the ones. Because what is it? You got to have the big hat or something like that.
Yes, the bigger hat means that you're more powerful.
Yeah. Oh God, I did love the stressful banter between on the Vulcan ship. Where like, this better work. I hope it does work. Well, we'll have to basically see if it does. Because if it doesn't, then we're going to really be. Instead of normally people would just be yelling at each other and they're just calm the whole entire time. Oh man. So bro, why don't you give us some of your stuff and have your dog chime in?
Chime in? Oh boy, you guys just been chiming in the whole fucking time. I gotta agree with Chris. This season actually was better than the first. The first took a little bit to get going in the beginning, and this one kind of had a bit of a momentum reboot. As well, but I enjoyed every episode this season, man. Every last one of them. The show is such a love letter to Star Trek, and I know the big argument that's been coming up is that, well, this show just seems to be just playing Star Trek's greatest hits and blah blah blah. It's like, look, man, it's an animated series and it's written by people who love Star Trek, and they're bringing back something we haven't had in a long time, which is an animated Star Trek series with deep cuts to the animated Star Trek, original animated Star Trek series.
Has never played Star Trek's greatest hits ever.
Oh right, these
no
stories.
Star Trek show has ever recycled the concept. I mean, because totally, the first episode the Next Generation did out of the pilot was not just a really bad recycling of an original series episode. I mean, that would have been crazy if they'd done that, right?
Or the Naked Time and the Naked Now, which was also spoofed this season.
It's literally what I was just referring to.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Encounter at Farpoint. My apologies, but no.
But first episode after the pilot.
I didn't even realize it was that. Yeah. It came that early. It's been a while since I watched the first season of Next Gen, so my apologies. But the fact that they brought that up in here and then people were up in arms about how crude the show is. It's so crude. It's like, wait. Have you guys not watched Star Trek before or are familiar with how Gene Roddenberry sees the future? I was like, this actually is more in line with what Gene Roddenberry saw as the future when it came to sexuality and shit than anything. So for me, seeing Born the Spread Eagle.
Look. So, bro.
Yeah, you're overanalyzing.
Here's the thing. Boomer Trekkers are the absolute worst. Their opinions are terrible, and nobody should ever listen to them. Because Boomer Trekkers were already awful back in the 90s with their terrible opinions about the shows and movies that came out back then, and they're still awful now, and as long as they draw one more miserable breath, they'll still be awful in like 20 years with whatever is on at that time. So
that's fair.
Let's just cut to the chase and just ignore everything these people say anyway.
I will say this: it's not all Boomer Trekkers. There's just some people who are just up their own ass.
The Boomer Trekkers are the loudest and the worst.
Yeah. I'd say, but I come from that generation too, and I am definitely open to this show and all the other new Trek series.
You're a Boomer?
You're not a Boomer Trekker. You're not a Boomer Trekker.
I was
70 years old.
Well, no, I'm not 70 years old, but I mean
that's a Boomer Trekker.
I enjoy the old and the new series, but regardless,
no, he's.
So do I, but I ain't no damn Boomer.
Yeah.
That's
not what he's meaning on that aspect.
There you go. Okay, fair.
I don't think people get the irony that this is some of it is going to be they're going to be recycling the storylines because this is the way of being seen from the people from the lower decks, not the bridge crew.
Absolutely.
That's like I think that is just I guess people just don't understand how things work and storytelling works sometimes. They're just doing it in a different different aspect there.
The whole
I mean,
point of that episode, I Excretus, was that people on the lower decks don't understand how things are higher up, and that the higher ups don't understand how it is for the lower deckers. So like that's
exactly.
literally the damn point, is to show things that you've seen before from a different perspective, because the whole point is to make you think back like to all those Next Generation episodes where it's like, if you're the vast majority of the crew that does not serve on the bridge, and there's some really weird shit happening, like, you know, we're in another galaxy and our thoughts make things physical reality. Like, how do you deal with not knowing what's going on the bridge when that kind of shit's happening? That's the whole point of lower decks.
Or you're just sitting somewhere in part of the ship, and then you get blown out the side. You know, how many times where they get some type of attack unprovoked, and it's like, we just lost 17 crew members.
Or, hey, we have to beam down almost the entire crew to go find Data because he became evil. Like, what the hell what is going on? Like, how would lower deckers react to that? Or, you know, the literal Next Gen episode, the Lower Decks, that was precisely about the junior officers not having a clue what the fuck the senior officers were doing.
Which they played into strongly with Shax's return. When he just shows up, and it's like, how did you? One of the engineering guys asks him, "How are you back from the dead?" And he immediately gets dressed down and sent out. And then later on, Rutherford
he starts talking about climbing the mountain of whatever. It's like, Christ.
I thought he was gonna say he saw Cisco and shit. It's like, yo, hold on. You have to fight your own 3 versions of your own father, and they're faceless. It's like, yo, stop. Rutherford, why did you ask him this question? But
it does bring up a good point of like everybody that served with Spock after he came back. It's like, wouldn't you? Okay, this is like the hero, one of the heroes of the Federation. He was dead, and his father's the ambassador to Earth. I mean, it's like a very well-known person, and then he's just walking around. He came back.
Which is why, as awful as that movie is, I do love that very McCoy line in Star Trek V of, "I liked him better before he died."
Oh man, yeah. It's cool that the show still toes the line of following the adventures of the main lower deckers as opposed to the bridge crew, but we do get to see a little bit more of the bridge crew this season, especially with Captain Freeman. Man, Freeman, she might be my 3rd favorite captain now. Like, it's Picard, Cisco, and then her, man. And just because she's so flawed. But she's also, when the shit hits the fan, she actually handles herself very well and manages her crew excellently, man. But finding out about Billups' past, though, was like one of my favorite moments in the entire series so far. To find out he comes from like a Ren Fair planet where there's dragons and shit, like they colonized Third Earth, or like a Lord of the Rings type world is super awesome, man. And the designs of their ships are also fantastic too, man. I got to give it up because I like the design of that planet's ships, as well as the Urbana class ship, the Archimedes. It looks like the Excelsior, but it's not. And that's a fantastic looking ship. And to see that Gomez is now the captain of it, after she just, she started off from just the smallest spot back in Next Gen, and they actually brought the actress back to play her, Alicia Naff. So it's
who had retired from acting.
Yeah, right. And yet
become a journalist.
Wow. And she basically came out of retirement to play this role again, and we might see her more. We might see her again in next season. Who knows? Or maybe this is just a one shot. But it was neat to see her. It took me a moment because when I started watching the episode, I was a little lost at who she might be. But then it hit me because I always remember the meme of the ensign spilling chocolate milk or hot chocolate on Captain Picard. It's like, is that who I think it is? And then by the time I got to the episode end, it's like, yep, that's exactly who it was. And they made a great point to they could have had like any major character from Next Gen cameo in the season finale, but they got someone who actually came up from the lower decks and became a captain. So I thought symbolically it was a great cameo to have this season. Another great cameo was Jeffrey Combs as Agimus, man. Oh my god, dude. Oh, he had me slayed.
Oh, just all you have to do is just hook me up to the network. Like it's cool.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that was hilarious.
Just set me over by the console. Get you some nice, cool, refreshing water.
Jeffrey Combs, man, that guy is a world treasure.
He is the best, man. It felt so good to just hear him in the show, and every word that came out of his mouth. I'm ready to give him the Skynet MVP. I'm ready to give him the Skynet MVP award of 2021, man. You know, Archivist is such a memorable character. I don't want him to ever leave the institute where they put him, but I would love to see him again. But if we don't, Jeffrey Combs has played so many characters in the Star Trek universe. They can literally have him show up at least once a season as a different character, and that would never get old to me because he can personify a character really well. So it was just nice to see that this season involved him. They brought back Alice Krieg as the Borg Queen too, because
random.
Yeah, right. I mean, she's up there in age, and I was surprised at that because they just recently had to recast her for Picard, the Borg Queen. I forget the name of the actress, but she was in 24. That's playing her now in Picard. But being that's just a voice, they could easily get Alice to come back and do the Borg Queen, and they did. So I thought that was a really cool moment in the series to have her come back for a hologram, for a holodeck kind of situation with Boimler. That's probably my favorite Boimler moment the whole season, when he's trying to be a perfectionist, like a lot of the gamers out there wanting to get 100% of the game. He was going in on that holodeck test in order to kind of do everything he possibly can to get all the achievements. And for all the gamers out there, that was a really cool moment to see him coming to his own. Speaking of Boimler, he had a glow up this season, right? He was kind of like, really by the book, straight laced. He started to loosen up towards the end of season 1, but by the time he got on the Titan, he became, he started to see how things were in a different type of ship, and then he went ahead and cloned himself. That was such a cool throwback to that one episode of Next Gen where Thomas Riker was discovered. And I guess now Boimler has a duplicate out there, and I wonder how that'll play into this series later on. But our Boimler comes back to the Cerritos, and he's kind of dealing with the identity crisis, and just to see how he's just handled different situations, like when he was working with the Red Shirts and had to give a speech on the Enterprise D. He envisioned the Enterprise D bridge and gave that pretty cool speech on what to do. And later on, he helped to pretty much rescue Tendi from losing her shit after she had that one artifact put into herself. But he's had a lot of key moments this season that were really stand out. And I can't ignore also kind of the more nuanced version of Mariner we got this season. She's a lot less perfect than she was, say, in season 1. And a lot of her flaws were shown this season. I like the episode with the Mugatos, where they kept saying the Mugato all different ways, like in the original episode of the original series. And she wasn't like the action girl that episode. She was kind of being played up for. They played up a lot of the theories that even I had about what she is. So it was kind of funny that they kind of made fun of that. But the fact that Rutherford and Boimler had to use diplomacy in order to win the day, I thought was so Star Trek of the show to do. And the fact that she was, commending them on that was awesome. But just to point out two last things. This season was fantastic. One of the best things about this season was the music. Chris Westlake is the composer of this series. And if you guys haven't listened to the score yet, it's available on Spotify for the first 2 seasons. It's probably one of my favorite Star Trek scores of all time. It sounds a lot like James Horner, but just listening to the score when watching the show, it's played straight with the orchestra. So they didn't skip on how much they spent on getting the music in the show. To me, I think it's one of the best aspects of Lower Decks in general. The animation too was fantastic too, man. Commendations to Titmouse they outdid themselves this season, man. It's been a fantastic watch. Last but not least, the question of Soul Bro's man. I'm gonna ask y'all the question: who is he this season? Because I think Yazi, shout out to Yazi, I think he pretty much nailed it with who's Soul Bro's man this season on Lower Decks.
No doubt, it's Steve Stevens.
Steve motherfucking Stevens.
Yeah.
It is indeed Steve Stevens. Shout outs to Yazi for this tweet right here. Steve, we all know who Soul Bro's man is in Lower Decks. Steve Stevens, and I quote, "I don't know where I end and you begin." Steve Stevens. But fantastic season, man. I love this show to death. I can't wait for season 3, and I'm sorry I have to wait almost a year for it. But I'll pass it back to you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Soul Bro. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more I can go into some of these other things. You know, like I said, I agree with you guys. I think this was a much stronger season than the prior one. I think it was like pretty much from jump, it keeps your attention. Because I felt, especially in the first couple episodes of season 1, I was like, oh, this is okay, but where's it going? You know, but then it seems like they've really actually found where they're supposed to be going here. So, but yeah, I mean, the in joke about Shaxis, I thought that was hilarious. I really thought that was a funny one. The Billups episode, at first I thought it was kind of stupid. I'm like, oh god, really? But then again, I'm always thinking about all the times they played dress up in in Star Trek, and it's always like some Renaissance fair, or how many times Janeway was with Leonardo. It's always something kind of crazy like that. But and then the one episode that I really liked is when they're trying to go into the cool Starfleet party. And the only one that can get in there is Boimler, because they think he's the Boimler from the Titan. Yeah.
Oh, the Duplers episode with the cool model, man. They actually, speaking of products, they sell that model as well now. So I don't think with all the bells and whistles that Rutherford's had, but that you can buy the model of the Cerritos as well now. So
and Captain Freeman and the rest of the crew, or the rest of the bridge crew, are trying to get into it too, and they all get subjected to that bar that's like right across from where the party's being held, where everybody gets if they can't get into the party, they just go there and drink their things away, and then you find out that Kirk and Spock were there, which that I would have really liked to see if they just did a flashback real quick of just those two. Because I have a feeling it would have been just Kirk slamming them down with Spock probably being the designated driver or designated transporter.
Yeah, what's funny is that there was a cameo, a silent cameo by the outrageous Captain O'Connor from Next Generation. He was the DJ at the party.
Who was Captain O'Connor?
He was this like the guy with the 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, he was DJing at that very
party.
I know, but in Next Gen he was in Next Generation he was the captain of a broken down.
A poor man's Han Solo.
Yeah. It was played by Billy Campbell, the guy who played the Rocketeer actually, and he showed up in an early episode of Next Generation. It was him and Terry Hatcher in the same episode.
Yeah, it's season 2. It's best not discussed.
Mm-hmm. He's actually coming back. He's coming back as the character in Star Trek Prodigy. So it's funny how he's starting to show up.
I can't even imagine how that is.
I can't imagine how Chakotay's showing up in that show either, but I guess we'll find out.
Well, that makes more sense because of.
But they're in the Gamma Quadrant, so I don't know how that works. Sorry, they're in the Delta Quadrant, so I don't know exactly.
Well, not to get too off topic.
Yeah, true.
Janeway's basically the doctor of this, right, Chris?
Yeah.
She's a hologram.
Yes.
EMH. Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think it, and definitely with the cliffhanger, I think it gets you get enough there that you just want to sit there and be like, oh, what's the next episode? Gosh, shit, I gotta wait. So, but yeah, I think it was definitely some good stuff, and I'm hoping it would be kind of cool if they have it where they start cycling some of the people in and out, but. I don't know. It's almost to the point too of like you want to see this lower bridge or lower decks crew do have some more adventures, and if they need to call it a day, just call it a day after that, because it may be tough to keep it going with other characters, as the leads. But anything else, guys, before you wanna? All right, I guess we'll give it some ratings. What were our ratings for the first season?
I wish I looked back and look. I know I was pretty high for me. I'm gonna probably give it the same that I think I gave it for season 1, but I think I know it was in the 4 somewhere. Much I can tell you.
In the 4s.
Mm-hmm.
I will say there were some little minor quibbles that just kind of annoy me, that just sound kind of weird, and they're things that they're played for laughs, but don't really make much sense. Like, the whole episode about the Starfleet party, this idea of this like tiered caste system for Starfleet, like that just does not make any sense at all, given everything we've seen about Star. It's like, yes, I know that's the joke, but it's like the joke should make sense in the context of like the world that it's set in. So
it seems something artificial to make them seem like the underdogs, but we already know that Starfleet doesn't work like that. So it's played for laughs, but at the same time that bothers me quite a bit.
It just doesn't make any sense. The other, along the exact same lines, is the frequently referred to and then actually shown in this season, the whole idea about how the lower deckers have fewer replicator options.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense either.
No freaking, like, that literally makes no sense at all. And the whole point of replicator is that you could have whatever you want. Why would you restrict what people? That's not anything we've ever seen. Like, not even Quark restricts the replicators because he's trying to sell you stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. So that's a joke that just does not.
Yeah, you know what? Saying that now, I was kind of wondering that too. I guess it's just trying to make it where they're trying to make it more along the lines of, like, I guess the real world, where that would probably happen more often than you would see in the future there, because equality is a big thing in Starfleet.
One thing I forgot to mention earlier, but definitely has to be brought up, is Cetacean Ops.
Yes, thank you. I was going to mention that.
We finally got to see it.
So Cetacean Ops, for those who are not aware, started off as an in-joke in the old Star Trek The Next Generation technical manual. It's there in the specs. It's referred to. It's never been shown.
Mm-hmm.
There's also in the Master Systems display of the Enterprise D, there's it's just a room with a giant duck in it, and they referred to that. They referred to that as well this season when Tendi and Rutherford were going to the captain's yacht. They were talking about how, do you think there's a room with a bunch of ducks in it? So super, super, super obscure stuff.
Oh, is that what that meant? I didn't know what that meant when they said that. I was like, wow, that's some super nerdy shit, because I really didn't know what that meant.
What's funny is that if you watch
the technical manual, that's from the, oh my gosh.
Not only that,
but why do they put like Cetaceous Ops and the duck in there, just to fuck with people? I mean,
it's just there for the hell of it. Like, there's lots of the staff of Next Gen, they're anime fans, they're fans of other stuff. Like, they just threw in random references to things, but like the Master Systems display, you can find this. Like, Memory Alpha, you can see screenshots within the show where like the MSD is in the background and you can see the fucking duck.
You can, because of HD. Because of HD, a lot of things that you weren't supposed to see, you can see now. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we're not supposed to see that you can see on the displays and whatnot, which is funny. It's a fun thing to look for.
That's awesome.
But they would do random stuff on the premise that you couldn't see it in standard definition. Like, in one episode, I think Worf went to the holodeck and like the list of currently running programs, it said something like flight training wings of Honiamis.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's so cool. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of just random references and in jokes, and one time on Voyager, one of the CG modelers from Foundation Imaging, he just as a joke named a Starfleet ship after himself, and then like it got left in the episode and is there and is like officially a thing now. So this kind of stuff happens all the time.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. That's funny that the creators or the writers of the show is like they're like just searching all that crazy crap there. Oh,
yeah.
Because you got what, about 50 years of this shit?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
55 years of this.
55 years of all this crazy crap. I didn't realize they were putting some weird stuff in the scenes, knowing that it wouldn't be seen in standard definition, probably never thinking that high definition would ever really pick it up. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know about the duck. Now you're gonna have to tell me what episode to find that, because I need to see this.
I'll get you some information about the duck.
Oh, that's hilarious.
One other thing I forgot to mention that I appreciated this season was the diversification of focus on seeing more of Tendi and Rutherford, not just by themselves, but also mixed up with Boimler and Mariner. And I like that misadventure that
the girls' trip.
Tendi and Mariner had, the girls' trip.
Yeah.
That
the post,
they
the
found out
libido
that
post.
they weren't as much friends as they thought they were.
Yeah.
You also got a little hint about Tendi's Mistress of Winter Constellations. I guess she has a title as an Orion, and hopefully we get to learn more about that as the show goes along. But yeah, man, it was cool to see them mix up the formula this season.
Also, another random amusing development, the saga of Mariner and Jennifer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, funny thing is, Jennifer started off as an ad-lib.
Yes.
Because they needed Tawny Newsome to say something at someone, and she just shouted, "Move out of the way, Jennifer!"
Yeah.
and that's how we ended up getting Jennifer the Andorian, which makes no sense, but like, sure, why not? And apparently, Mariner and Jennifer will be a thing in season 3.
That's super cool, man, because it's funny, in the last episode of season 1, my wife's name is Jennifer, so when anytime they mention her name, she laughs. Or if Jennifer is shitted on or whatever, she laughs at that shit. So it was really funny when that first unfolded. But then to see those two actually hook up and to see Jen actually save Mariner towards the end of the episode was fantastic. And now they'll have some kind of dynamic going into season 3. On top of that, also Jen likes Boimler. I don't think anything further than just friendship, because she was part of the Red Shirts in the middle of the season, and they had a little bit of interaction there too. So it's just cool to see her character get more development. There's a cool thing that retroactively got I guess termed Springfieldification, which is happening on this ship, because you can see like a lot of the characters have names, characters' personalities to play minor roles in episodes, and you have possibly more known crew members on the Cerritos now than probably any other starship in all the Star Trek that I can say. Even in the episode where they're doing the test in the holodecks, you see a bunch of names come up of characters you've seen in the background a lot but never knew the names of. So I mean, that's actually a pretty standard practice on the 90s shows, because they would have lots of guest players who they didn't have any parts of dialogue, but they were just there to show the consistency of like, yes, this is the same crew that's working on this for years. So sometimes they would promote them and give that's how we ended up getting O'Brien becoming O'Brien. Oh, absolutely.
He just went from being a background bit player. But across all 3 shows, you can find tons of people that it's like, they never said anything, but they at least had a name, and if you think about it, you can think of all the episodes that you saw them in.
Yeah. He's got to be there. He's got to be the Lower Deckers hero, right? O'Brien. Wasn't he? Didn't he mention?
Well, we know that he's the most important. He's the most important person in Starfleet history.
Yeah, I remember that from the first season. Yeah.
Even Colum Meany found out about that.
Yeah. He's like, he said it's about time.
It's about time.
I mean, that's really the only character that's ever really been promoted like that. I mean,
Well, the O'Brien journey is weird because, you know, he had a rank because back when Next Gen started, they were just making this shit up as they went along.
He was an ensign.
They did not. They bolted on later the whole non-com aspect of it because that was not a thing at the start of Next Gen. So, you know,
what was he, an ensign to begin with or something?
He had Lieutenant Pips at some point, was even called a lieutenant, and then suddenly he just became a chief petty officer. So that was kind of a whole weird thing of them building all of this stuff around just this one guy.
Man, one of the writers must have been former Navy or something.
Would not surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, because it's he's the most important person, and actually probably the most the journey of Miles O'Brien, a man that was just when you needed to make somebody suffer, enter O'Brien.
Also,
nobody suffered more in Deep Space Nine than him. Oh my god!
Shout out to Boimler's near-death experience in Cetacean Ops and seeing the space koala.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yo, that actually the show is now starting to reference itself. So that's pretty cool that they built up their own mythology in this show, and that was a nice run back on that joke.
As we know, seeing the space koala is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
Nope. Anything else?
No,
I'm sure we could go on forever.
Absolutely.
You know, it was just such a great season, and I just loved it so much. Can't wait for season 3 to be out next year. And you know, folks, we finally have delayed by 1 year because of COVID the dream of year-long Star Trek.
Wow.
We're gonna have, starting in 2022, season 4 of Discovery still running. Then we're gonna get season 2 of
No, it's not.
Picard
It's canceled.
Oh yeah, it's canceled. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
They won't even air it, even though they finished it. That's what the Masked Man said, so it must be true. So we're getting season 4 of Discovery into early next year. Then we're getting Picard.
Yep.
And presumably Strange New Worlds.
Yep.
Then presumably after that, Lower Decks season 3. And then Prodigy season 2. And then probably more Discovery. So it's like at any given time in 2022, there will be new Star Trek on streaming, plus these new movies that they're working on. So, you know, we're finally, after so many years out in the desert of just famine and Kelvin movies, we're finally getting some good stuff all the time.
Finally, our time has come.
Out of all that, though, and I mean, we'll go into our ratings, but out of all that, what's the one you're looking forward to the most? I'm looking forward to the Strange New Worlds one. Like, I really want to see what they're doing with that, because I keep reading like the little snippets. I saw they like interviewed the actor that does Captain Pike, and you know, he kind of said some stuff like, you know, it's stuff you know, but it's also stuff you don't know, and it's basically going to be, seems like it's going to be adventure, like action adventure every episode.
That production trailer was very promising, man. It's got me really hyped for that.
I would say I'm most looking forward to Strange New World, because I really like seeing the Enterprise crew on Discovery and the short treks. And with Picard, even though I'm eager to see Q and the Borg Queen, we kind of at least already know most of these characters and what their dynamic is. This is a totally new thing. It does bug me though that for Strange New Worlds they chose to change the uniforms yet again, and that
why did they do that?
Super T-shirt style that looks worse to me than the TOS interpretation they did on Discovery. I wish they had stuck with those uniforms. But I mean, Star Trek, they love changing uniforms
all the time, dude.
Because you know, as we've seen on Lower Decks, for whatever reason, some parts of Starfleet use the Lower Decks style uniforms, and then in other parts they're still wearing the First Contact uniforms. But then canonically, based on flashbacks from Picard, within about 2 or 3 years, they're going to have an entirely new set of uniforms for everybody anyway. So,
absolutely.
And then they'll change again in the 2390s. So,
it's crazy. I actually went to the Memory Alpha one and looked at like how they did the uniforms, and you know, there's so many different interpretations of all the uniforms.
Yes.
I think the only stretch is the cool Wrath of Khan ones. Like for whatever reason, that there's that period in between from like the, you know, the original cast movies to the Next Generation. It's like, yeah, they pretty much wore those the whole entire
It's
time.
funny how, like, you know, for like this whole period of Star Trek that we skipped over, that for like 60 years, canonically, they wear the Khan uniforms, and then it's like every 2 or 3 years they just keep changing the uniforms over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
and that's considering there was one uniform change, this is getting really nerdy, that we almost got in Generations, but at the last minute they canceled.
Yeah, that's the action figures, right?
Yeah, action figures had them.
Yes, the Playmates action figures had these new uniforms. They thought it was too
They
big of a
looked weird.
change. It looked weird. They thought it was too big of a change. So literally days before filming, they just borrowed a bunch of DS9 costumes.
That's right. But you know what's funny? I think the uniforms in Lower Decks are kind of a send up to those unused uniforms from Generations.
They do have some elements like the fact that you have
flap.
Yeah. But those, it's like Starfleet. Stop changing uniforms.
Make up your damn mind, man.
Make up your damn. It's like, I know that you just put the uniform into the replicator and it disintegrates and you get the new uniform, but for God's sakes, just like have some freaking consistency.
Exactly. But
or bring back the Wrath of Khan ones. The best.
That ain't gonna happen.
Hey man, we had it for 5 seconds this season in Lower Decks, man.
Every time they'll show, every time like shows up on HBO or something like that, and you see it, and you're like, God, those things are. It's like those things are so beautiful.
You got to think for Maroon, huh?
Man, you can't say that those.
The Maroon Monster, as they like to call it.
Maroon Monster.
Those shits are tight, man. And then the travel jacket.
Oh,
especially when, you know, Kirk pops the collar on the travel jacket.
There you go, man. Pimping.
No, we all know it's about those horrible one-piece uniforms from the first movie in 1979. You know, with
those disco ones.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
My least favorite ones.
The colors are so weird.
The leisure suits.
Yeah.
It's like I understand it. It was the 1970s and like really muted earth tones were like the thing back then. Because if you look at like houses back then, you know, they had like orange and brown appliances. But who thought that? I mean, you're filming movie. I'm not even a filmmaker, and it's like when you're having colors like that are almost like blending into the actor's skin, like that's not really how you're supposed to do it, right? I mean, it just is like, oh god. And then like, isn't there one thing where Kirk's like hairy arms are showing, and man.
Anyway, let's wrap this shit
Good
up.
times.
So, are we doing ratings?
Yeah, let's do ratings. So, Solbro, what's your rating?
Oh man, shout out to Yazi for reminding me of this. But I'm gonna give this season 4.5 shish kebabs sold by Gorn out of 5 in that episode with the Gorn kebabs. Yeah, the party crashing episode where they go to the bar and see that Kirk and Spock drank there. There's a Gorn selling shish kebabs right outside. I didn't notice it the first time I watched the episode, but Yazi pointed it out to me the second time. Because Yazi and Gorns, boy, they like this. He loves them some Gorns. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Chris.
I'm going to give this 4.5 thirsty Cetacean Ops crew out of 5.
Oh,
Woo!
man.
Man, they were thirsty,
mine,
baby.
actually. They kept talking to, what was it, Rutherford? You need to come in here and take your uniform off. And
Come in here with your broad shoulders. Yo, Kimalu and Matt, man, they were all about some Rutherford, man.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to give it 4.5 Boimler runbacks or speed rounds out of 5. Because that shit killed me. Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you.
Do it again.
He annoyed the shit out of me in the first season. Like, I thought he was cool, but I'm like, he's kind of annoying and whiny. But in this, and especially that episode, I was like, you know what? I like him now because he's just like, run it back.
Yeah, he did. Yo,
94% run it back.
Yo, shout out
and
to
each time when he was carrying all the babies, all the Borg babies.
Oh man. And then had a whole herd of Borg right behind him. I don't know how he got up through the ventilation shaft, but he was doing so good. He was able to hail a Starfleet runabout, and then they got him out with the whole crew. It's like, yo, man, your Bormula doesn't play, man. You give him enough preparation, he's Batman, son. But
there's two things that we have not discussed that we should probably give some light speculation on. First, what do we think now of this mystery of Rutherford's background?
Do you think it might be Section 31?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most obvious thing.
Yeah. But here's the funny part about that. I went back and watched seasons 1 and 2, and Rutherford makes a lot of references to Section 31 throughout the episodes. And I don't think that's by any kind of... I don't think that's coincidence, man. I don't think it is. They buried seeds in season 1 that came to fruition in season 2, and I think they may have already had plans for Rutherford's whole storyline going way back from the beginning. When we're introduced to him, he's already got the implant in, so we don't know the backstory of how he got it. But we finally got a little tease of that at the end of the season finale. So I'm excited to see exactly where that's going, and hopefully it's a very rewarding storyline for him. I feel bad for him though that he had that put on against his will and made to think that it was his own choice. So I hope it's a really good storyline, whatever they have plan for us.
I do find it funny though that even in the 23rd century they still have storage limitations. Yeah. He kept he had to purge all the pictures. I was making backups of the backups.
Yeah, can he just like put it on a drive or store it in the main computer or some shit? Upload it.
Yeah, see,
free up his own memory.
It's probably that or something maybe with the Pakled storyline. Like maybe he's there. It's either that or he's there to because Mariner and Captain Freeman, Mariner's dad and Captain Freeman's husband, he's an admiral. So it's either that or maybe they did something to him to keep an eye on those two. That could be something too. I don't know.
That could very well be, man.
I mean, then the other thing is, how much shit is Captain Freeman in about clearing her name after being framed for blowing up Pakled planet?
Yeah, how long is that story arc going to last in season 3? Are they just going to be able to hand wave it away by the beginning of season 3, or is it going to be a whole story arc? My question is,
it is possible that they do a story arc, or that they played as a joke, like, oh hey, it was sure crazy how that whole thing resolved itself,
right?
Wasn't it? Yeah. And then they just move right on and don't even mention it.
Or they do some type of
or
they'll do something where they'll mock the trial of Kirk and McCoy in the Undiscovered Country, but with the Pakleds.
Well, they already did that in the first season.
Yeah,
they did.
So
my question is, who's going to be the acting captain on the Cerritos? Will it be Ransom? I don't think it will. I think we're going to get a Jellicoe type, or maybe even Jellicoe himself, man. My man is still alive, Ronnie Cox, man. Bring him back.
No, it'll be Ransom, and he'll screw everything up.
Well, Ransom he's been off the chain this season. I mean, besides him having his godlike moment, he's been I've warmed up to his character quite a bit this season when I didn't like him all that much in season 1. Like, Jerry O'Connell really plays the hell out of him, and this season he has just become far more likable than I ever expected, man. I wouldn't mind seeing him be acting captain, but... also I have a question.
He will because they'll spoof the whole thing with, when Riker had to take over for Picard. That's probably what they'll end up doing.
I have a question for you fellas, and you tell me if this is coincidence or if you think or suspect that Jack Ransom might be related to the Captain Ransom that was in Voyager. Y'all remember that episode?
The guy who he was using the Space Ghost as fuel.
Yeah. And a lot of people have been speculating that they might have some kind of tie together. I'm going to just chalk it off as coincidence, but I wouldn't be mad if there's some kind of tie between them.
It's not an uncommon name.
Yeah, it's Ransom. Yeah, I suppose it's not. But if anything, I just thought to ask you guys that just to see if you guys had any thoughts on that, or maybe Ransom said something that might allude to that.
Sometimes, some of these connections are meant to be explicit and then get dropped, like going back again to the first Star Trek movie. Will Decker, who of course was Proto Riker, was in the script like referred to as the son of Commodore Decker from the famous Doomsday Machine episode of the original series, but then never made it to the screen. So technically, like, the canonical connection is not there because they never actually said it.
And there's also an Ensign Janeway in season 1 of Next Gen, no relation to Catherine Janeway either. So it could just be a coincidence for all we know, and that's about it.
I mean, that would have. There's no way that she could have been.
Yeah, she can't be an ensign.
An ensign. And then just 7 years later have been a captain.
Exactly right. So that's a hell of a career trajectory.
Not even Kirk ascended the ranks that quickly, at least in the prime timeline.
And she even, if I remember from like the pilot of Voyager, it even seemed like she kind of toiled in like the middle ranks for a long time once she got, because what is it? The Voyager was her first command.
Her background was that she started off in the sciences and was there a long time, and she was a science officer for Paris's dad, and then later on she switched to command.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Anyway, now we're just rambling.
Yeah, good things to think about going into season 3. I just to answer the question from earlier, I'm actually, as much as I'm looking forward to Strange New Worlds, Lower Deck season 3 is what I'm really looking forward to next season. So that's my number one choice. But Strange New Worlds, second on the list on what to look forward to.
Oh man, you don't want to see Pike doing his thing, being the man that saved season 2 of
Discovery.
Season 2 of Discovery should just have the the subtitle of the Strange New Worlds lead-in season, because that's all it was. It was like the Captain Pike hour, because it was the craziest thing. Why is he the commanding officer of Discovery now? Because the Enterprise wasn't working right.
Well, how convenient.
Look, Captain Pike, he understood. You got to watch out for them network machines and control. So
yeah,
he would be on the same page with Adama.
Hell yeah, man.
Rip that junk out. We don't need it.
That's a relief.
Rip out all the video screen. We don't need them. And that was a great way of just flows right into TOS. Yeah. Or we see that the Enterprise was such a lemon. That's the reason why they needed Scotty, and how he became so good was because he was constantly fixing it on that thing.
Which makes you wonder then if when that Klingon was talking shit about the Enterprise in the Tribbles, it's like, was Scotty so self-conscious because he knew there was some truth to what that guy was saying?
or the secret got out, like, that ship's just a piece of junk. Like, it's always.
I will say, in the original series, aside from the Enterprise itself, the survival rate of all Constitution class ships on that show is 0%.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Every single Constitution class ship on that show was destroyed, or the entire crew was killed.
That's insane! I never knew that.
Yeah, I've seen that in the Star Trek, like that class of ship had like the highest fatality rate.
Yeah.
Like the thing about the 5-year mission, like the reason why Kirk was so celebrated on that was because,
like, oh, you actually came back. We weren't expecting.
Yeah, he was like one of the few ships that actually came back with most of his crew.
Most of his crew, yeah.
Yeah, they were either all lost, or the entire ship was lost, or they found the ship and everyone was dead or missing, or they'd come back and the ship was badly damaged with most of the crew dead. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, Chris is right. Cause I still catch the original show from time to time. They play it on, and yeah, every time they the mad computer one, the M1 computer, when they the Enterprise took out like 3 of its sister ships.
if you want to do some deep dive on this, go to Memory Alpha and look at the Constitution class article, and click on all of the individual ships other than the Enterprise and read about their fates. It's not pretty.
There was probably a reason the Enterprise got a refit. It was probably banging all the dents out of it and filling in all the holes. Like, you almost want to see when they would have came back. It's like, how would it have been? what would that ship have been like?
Well, there is the currently running comic, or at least it was recently running, the Year 5 comic that purports to show, it's not canon, but it shows basically the 5th year of the 5-year mission, because most people consider the animated series, the original animated series, to be
the 4th?
Yeah.
4th year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
it kind of seems like that. Yeah.
So, the Year 5 comic might show us the Enterprise coming back to Earth all beat up and in shambles.
Yeah. Yeah, because I doubt it had those. I doubt it had those little robots that Discovery had.
I mean, technically it did, because
technically it did. Yeah,
they did retcon it in that short trek that yes, even in the TOS era, they did have those little repair bots.
Yeah, which would make sense.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But all right. Anything else before we go out? And Soulbro gives us those websites. Gives us the way to contact us. Get ready, Soulbro.
Yeah, here we go, man. Let me do this real quick. All right,
Chris,
let's see here if I can get them up on the screen. Where is it? Oh.
Any additional hopes and dreams that you need to destroy before Soulbro gives them gives them where to reach us?
Well, just a minor announcement that I will be joining our recent guests, Dylan and Six, on their show Mechanista NG in a couple of days. So,
wow.
It'll be fun, because I've never done a podcast where I have no idea what we'll be talking about.
Yo, look at that, man. Welcome to the club.
Man. Well, you'll know you'll know how I do the news then.
I will be channeling the spirit of Larry King as Six rolls the die to determine our universe and our
Hell
city.
yeah.
So, I'm going to try to go in as unprepared as possible.
Man, you already prepared. You got all you got all the stats burned into your brain anyway, so you'll be fine.
It's actually a genius concept. I hope they trademark it. Right?
Hell yeah.
Because I'm sure one of these these douchey after Walking Dead things. Now all these shows have their discussions or their podcasts afterwards. They're probably going to start ripping it off. So.
But yeah, man. Chris, I hope it goes well, man. Let us know when that episode is coming out so we can promote it as well.
Do you feel confident you're gonna? Because it's probably gonna hit the most obscure suit there is. No,
I mean, right? Maybe sometimes there's a mulligan, so we'll see.
It's either that or it's gonna be the Crossbone.
They tend to not have Crossbone on the list directly. They only talk about Crossbone indirectly if there's, unfortunately, a hideous Crossbone variant of whatever suit they were actually talking about. So
man.
there's always the threat.
The threat.
Threat is there.
The threat is there. Cool.
We'll see. I'm sure it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. All right, Soulbro.
Well, listeners, make sure to make a beeline over to MAHQ.net. That's the Mecha and Anime headquarters, where you can find all the latest reviews of mecha anime, as well as incredible stats and details about your favorite mecha from all sorts of mecha anime series. Also, join the forums of mechatalk.net. That's the official forums of MAHQ, man. Go there and join the conversation. You can also converse over at MAHQ1, which is our group over on Facebook. Make sure to mind your P's and Q's at anywhere that you discuss mecha when it comes to MAHQ, man. Otherwise, you're going to catch that boot, that Timberland, right to the ass. But
Jesus. Issuing out the threat.
There you go. Just letting you know. Just letting you know right now.
I'd also add, rather newsworthy, on MHQ, we added our first wholly new mecha section in years. We recently added a MAME warrior at the borderline.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. Good shit. Well, damn.
So that'll be updated throughout the season as the show progresses. So, just keep an eye on that.
A new wing has been opened as the MAHQ universe expands. But yeah, go there and check that out, everybody, man. Gundamn.podbean.net is Gundamn.podbean.com is where you can find the audio episodes of the show. Also, they can be found on iTunes and Google podcast. If you want to find our latest episodes, you can go to youtube.com/GundamnMAHQ and twitch.tv/FightersReady. Also, make sure to check out the Flip the Script podcast. We have another episode this month. We'll keep you guys posted on when the next episode will be. But make sure to go over to either youtube.com/Shinjuku Station or over on anchor.fm/Flip the Script. You can find us on iTunes, Google, also over on Spotify as well. And thanks for checking there. Also, I did a soft launch of the website for the novel that I'm writing, VermilionRoyale.com. If you guys have a free moment, you want to go check that out, just to get a little insight on the book that I've been writing since 2018. You can go there and check out some of the stuff that's there. Some of the characters are introduced, and I've got a lot more plans for expanding the material that's there. A lot of art, a lot of conceptual artworks there as well. So I'd be honored if you check that out, bookmark it. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Vermilion Royale as well. I usually don't talk about it here on the show, but since I just launched the website, I wanted to throw that out there for anybody who might be interested. So thank you, anybody who is, and let me know what you think. And other than that, guys, that is it.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for coming out. This was episode 248, and we talked about the season 2 of Star Trek Lower Decks. It's a Solbro certified amazing show.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah. And it has all the things that Solbro likes, including the King Arthur.
No, Steve Stevens certified.
Steve Stevens certified. Yes, definitely. So, thank you, everyone. We'll be back in a few weeks, and I think probably after that we'll start announcing the old holiday shutdowns. For Gundam, because we're to that point where probably too many shows left in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Man, 2021's already gone. Seems like you've been in your house the whole time, right? But we'll be back in a few weeks. Talk to you later.
ジオニック社の技術の融合。私を導いてくれ、オーリス。ジオニックトヨタ。
Keep on climbing. There's gonna be some rain, gonna be the pain. you out of the house. Then why did you tell Porky you were helping Lola move? I just told him so I wouldn't have to go to the Peach Festival. You lied? Who told you to lie? You did! You're not a liar! That's my area!